All right, everybody. Happy Monday. Just at the time of this recording, this is going to be my last final Monday broadcast inside of the paid Transform Your Sales group. Okay, we are having a new and improved group this week ahead. So just wanted to remind you guys of that. So starting September 1st is the new and improved Transform Your Sales VIP membership. So just want to remind you guys of that big change. So next Monday, August 30th, we will not have another Monday class. So just living by example, sharing with you guys my transformational sales journey this past year, recognizing that I want to work smart, I want to work focused, and I want to design a life for myself and my family. So ask yourself, how does that apply to you? Again, hopefully you'll still be a part of my new and improved program. I know there's a few people in here. This is your last month. And I'd love for you to continue, because this new program is really based off of a year of study, a year of feedback from people who are struggling with the number one core thing that's going to give them the value to transform their sales career, transform their financial livelihood. And that's lead generation and consistency and accountability. So starting next week, Wednesday, September 1st, we are going to be having a live webinar. I haven't even created the webinar link yet, but I will be posting that inside of the Facebook group. I will be emailing that out to you guys as well. So just wanted to let you guys know that that's the plan, and I'm super excited about this new and improved program. So today I wanted to do an update for you guys, because I've made improvements inside of the daily prospecting sheet. In fact, for those of you who continue, we're going to be using this sheet every session that we have together. Now, moving forward, we're going to have 2 1-hour sessions instead of 4 30-minute weekly sessions. So the first and third Wednesdays of every month that you're an active member, we'll be using this sheet right here. And I wanted to give you a high-level overview of this sheet, because I've had some questions and I've had some serious affirmations of people realizing, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed, because they weren't tracking their leads consistently. If you don't track your numbers, you can't grow or change them, right? You can't grow or change them. And here's my new file folders. I have a new desk, new office, if you haven't noticed, and still moving in, still unpacking. But I'm going to be putting all of these prospecting sheets inside of my folder every day. And you're going to see right here, this is my handy dandy clipboard where I put my prospecting sheets. I have still, obviously it's early, so I haven't done my prospecting yet, but I'm going to fill that out. I'm going to tear it off, and I'm going to put it in my folder. Okay, so I want to just let you know, I printed off a whole week's worth of these bad boys so that it would already be there attached to my clipboard. Now, the only thing I haven't done on this sheet, and I'm going to show you here, I'm going to share my screen, is I didn't fill out the who I was going to contact for my prospecting. There's 2 reasons that can happen. Number 1, they could be in my CRM, but I prefer to go to my CRM, pull off the names that I'm supposed to reach out to, and write them out on here, and then check them off as I go, taking notes, did I reach them, et cetera, so that I can update my CRM a week later, or at the end of the week, rather. The other reason for that too is I do have an Excel spreadsheet of over 400 people who signed up for my 5-day challenge, and I want to be able to follow up with all of them. So I do use that for this week. Otherwise, I always fill out that sheet, ideally the day before, so I don't have to worry about what happens if my morning goes haywire, what happens if I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, what happens if I have a bad night's sleep and I'm not feeling so great in the morning. I still have younger kids, things like, kids waking up in the middle of the night is still a thing. So I just wanted to remind you of the importance of intentionality. Ask yourself, are you intentional about filling out this document every day? So if you go right here, I'm going to share my screen. This is the new and improved prospecting sheet. And I'm going to make it bigger so you guys, I know it's not quite the same, so you can't see it as easily, but this is our tool. I call it the freedom tool, time and financial freedom. It's a focused daily prospecting document. And I have things highlighted. I want to go over those things, but I'm really going to go over a high-level overview of the importance of this document. Now, can you change this document and make it your own? Yes. The only thing that I would caution you is use this first for at least 90 days. Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not going to understand this document, okay? You're not going to understand it until you use it for 30 days, then 60 days, and then really, truly 90 days. It's like when I was training and my coach said, run 2 miles a day, run 3 miles a day. This is the day you do your track workout. This is the day you do this type of workout, a tempo, a speed. I didn't question my coach. I might not have liked every workout, but I knew in order to achieve my goals as an athlete, I had to listen to the coach and trust his training plan. So I want to ask you for the same trust here. You're going to want to use this document every day. And if you have questions, now, if you're inside of the paid program, you can ask questions every week inside of the private Facebook group, the paid members only Facebook group. If you're not inside of the program, I'm going to respectfully not answer your questions out of respect to myself and the healthy boundaries I've set for myself, and also out of respect to my paid members and clients. So I just want to clarify that. So definitely start using this so that if you somehow end up eventually leaving the program, you know how to use it, and it's like clockwork. You use it every day, you tweak it, you edit it as you see fit for you. You want to be printing out 5 or 6 of these per week, or you could print out for the whole month for every day that you work. You want to hand write out your goals every day. These are typed out for examples only. Okay. So you fill out your name, the date, how many sales do you want? Someone asked me, is that in dollars? No. If it would have been in dollars, I would have put a dollar sign there. But how many number of sales do you want to have? Based on your sales price, that's what's going to determine your income. How many sales times the dollar amount determines your income. So you see here, this example, again, this is just an example, $50,000 a month on or before September 30th. For me to progress to that, I wanted to have 6 sales. So my average sales price is $5,000 for my high ticket offer. Okay. So that would be $30,000 this month, but I actually wrote down what I want to accomplish on or before September 30th. So I'm already thinking 1 month ahead, but this is just how I roll. You might just want to put your August goal, or in this case, at the time of this recording, we're almost going to turn a new month. You want to put your September goal, whatever is best for you. Put your numbers down. Every day you write it out, you're reprogramming your subconscious mind. You're re-enrolling yourself into the ability to get that done, to manifest. What you focus on expands. Don't focus on the money you haven't made. Focus on the money you are creating. You are manifesting. And so writing that out every day is a re-enrollment activity, no matter what your thoughts might be saying, you write it down, right? And don't be changing your goal every day or every week. You want to keep it static. You want to be committed. You want to show the universe that you're serious. So first of all, you set the intentions, you write it down, and then you take action. And depending on your goal, there might be massive action. So again, these are all things that we're going to talk about on the live Zooms when you can ask your questions there or inside the Facebook group. We're going to get more active in there. I also have my daily email list additions. I do still add 5 people a day into my email list. That's my goal. Now, if you're not building your email list at this time, remember inside of this program, you do have access to the List Build with Lois program. It's a 3-day program to getting 100 people into your email list in 3 days. So it's pretty intense, but it works. So you could go and take that course as well and be able to access that and put that as one of your goals, but you don't have to. Again, you can delete this if you want. I teach you want today money and you want tomorrow money. So having an email list is your asset. It's your big financial bank account, your stocks, your bonds, your investments. You're putting in deposits every day into that email list, and then eventually you'll be able to have withdrawals. So that's more of a longer game. Now the short I guess really it's today money and tomorrow money also is your weekly goals, your income producing activities. That's what IPA stands for. So how many calls, if you do still make phone calls, I do. I still love the phone. So I like to set a goal of having 5 phone calls a day. This is during my prospecting hour. My power hour, I call it. You're going to learn more about that. And you really learn by doing this every day. If I just talk to you about it, you're probably going to be confused, right? It's a brand new muscle. It's a brand new habit because I find that 90% of the people I talk to aren't doing this. And that's why they have more month at the end of money and they're struggling. Or they're doing the roller coaster ride of 1 month high income, the next month falling flat. And I know as long as I use this, I won't have that roller coaster. I'll have predictable, sustainable income, which is what I want for all of you. I also put in there how many messages. Now I could delete emails because actually it's social media. Facebook and LinkedIn is where I do my intentional 15 a day form connection, building trust and rapport relationships to see if there's someone out there who needs my help. So that's what that stands for. Webinars, I do usually, not always, this happens to have a 1 here. I happen to have a webinar this week. So I have one webinar where I want to create income and money. All right. Then how many people am I going to follow up with? It's actually, for me, going to be a lot higher than that this week because I got over 400 people to follow up with. But ultimately, you still know fortune is always in the follow-up, right? The other thing is, what else am I going to create this week that's going to get me closer to my goal or goals? I do collaboration appointments, 20-minute Zooms, get to know you, see how we can work together, possibly helping each other with referrals or joint ventures or what have you. And then, of course, I do sales calls. I call them Discover Coaching with Lois calls. That's what that's about. Okay. So how many of those per week do you want to have? Now, if you were like, wow, gosh, Lois, this is blowing my mind right now. I don't have these kind of habits. Well, guess what? You're in the right place. That means you've got to stay in this course. If you haven't joined us officially, you've got to be in this course because there's nobody out there that's going to hold you accountable to this stuff like I will. In fact, I have you fill out a weekly accountability form that's going to be focused on the numbers that you're putting out there, the intentional numbers, and then the numbers that you're filling in on the back end. What are your actual? You have your goal numbers and you have your actuals. Okay. So at the end of every week, you're going to record your daily/weekly numbers inside of that form. Then, of course, I break down how many sales do I want to create this week based on my monthly sales goal, right? So that's what those two sections are about. Now, moving along, this section I know has confused some people. I've actually thought about changing it. However, it really works for me, and I've been using it for a year in this exact same manner. So the more you use it, the more you'll get used to it. And the more you can also then decide after 30, 60, or 90 days of using it if you need to tweak it for you. So these are people that I'm reaching out to. This is my gold mine. This is also my email list, to be quite honest, of people that I've done business with in the past and my referral partners. Okay, so I'll cover that, what I'm actually saying and what I'm doing here in a minute. This is how many new additions to my database I want to have every day. So this can be email list people, but this can also be social media people. Okay, and these, again, I just put 5 a day as an intention for you. You pick your own number. You could change that number to 2. Whatever you want to do. I like 5 a day, keeps the creditors away, and it keeps growing your list. If I hadn't gone all out on adding new connections last year and following up with my past connections and following up with my new connections, which is what the lead follow-up is all about, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I probably maybe would have gotten a job or gone working for selling for someone else who had a company. That's how crazy last year was for me. Mama had to make some money. Mama had to be consistent, talking about myself. I am a mom. My husband's money income was going away, and here we are. We wouldn't be in this brand new house if I hadn't used this document. I would have been cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, lost my marbles, and probably gave up. I'm just being totally transparent with you guys. So the difference between these, again, in summary, these are people that you already know, like, and trust that you're connecting with. These are new additions to your database. If you go back to the 5-day challenge or even the list build course, I talk about the 5 W's, the first one being the who. Who are you looking for? What are their demographics? Where are you finding them? So on and so forth. I'm not going to go into that whole training now because you already have access to that. And then the lead follow-up is people that you have connected with, possibly in session 1 or section 1, section 2. Past client gives you a referral. Now you have a lead to follow up with, right? And I do lead follow-up usually at a different time of day than these first 2. These first 2 columns is what I do inside of my Power Hour. Power Hour is where I focus for 1 hour and I do as much outbound touches as I can, not inbound. I don't receive a phone call. I don't receive a text. I don't respond to any messages that come back to me. I really got to be diligent and disciplined. And during that whole time, I'm asking myself, can I add them to my email list? Could I get them on a sales call? Or could I ask them for a referral? Either way, you're touching people, you're shining a light out into the world. You're making it not about you, you're making it about that person, but in exchange for that time and energy and value, you're either building your list, you're getting people on sales calls, you're asking for referrals. You could also, use that as tracking for your referrals. And then going back up here and doing your lead follow-up, a separate part of the day. Now, if you've got a side hustle and you only have 1 hour a day that you can really do both outbound and lead follow-up, you could do that in 1 hour. You could do 30 minutes of outbound and 30 minutes of follow-up. I've done it all. I've experienced it all. And either way, you can figure out how you want to use that section. For now, I just want you to skip this page 2 rather. Skip this. This is more for my high ticket clients inside of my Done With You program. But if you find value in this and you want to track, you can do that. So this right here, just to reiterate, these numbers don't mean that you're calling 100 people unless you want to. Then you're probably doing a 2-hour time instead of 1 hour. It could be you have an event coming up and you want to message 100 people on Facebook or LinkedIn. You could do that. You could actually do that in 1 hour. I've timed it. It's possible. It's a little crazy. But that's what you make phone calls. You can circle them. You have outbound messages and they respond. You could circle them, but it's just ticking off how many people you actually reached out to. And again, if you don't like that section, you could delete it if you wanted to and just use this one. But I use this one to write their names down before I reach out to them. And then I use this one to track my numbers. I track my leads. I track my appointments. I actually circle who, how many people I talked to. I X out the people I didn't talk to. It's just another way of getting that dopamine hit of accomplishment. All right. Again, you got to know your numbers to grow your numbers. So that's a summary of how to use that form. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share. I'm going to see if anybody has any questions about the document. Does anybody have any questions? I know it's a little bit intense to just talk about it. The only way to really understand it is to use it. The only way to learn how to ride a bike is to get on the bike and ride, knowing that you probably will fall off. You may scrape your knee, all of those types of things, but really just want to make sure that you guys start using it. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment below. Ultimately, we will be starting on September 1st. That's going to be our kickoff of the new schedule. It's 10 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern on the 1st and 3rd Wednesdays of the month. So our schedule right now is September 1st and September 15th at the time of this recording. So you can put those on your calendar now. Hour of Power segment. Yes. And again, you won't until you start using it. It's in your head right now. Like I shared with you, it's, if you read at the bottom of it, I actually, instead of making all the marks up here, right? Because then it gets really messy. It gets really messy. Instead of crossing out people's names, because remember their names are up here. Down here is how many messages did I get done in that hour? How many touches, outreaches, whatever you want to call it. And that way I mark it down and I track my results of how many total did I do. Because at first I was circling and crossing off people's names, but then I couldn't read anything. When I would go update my CRM, it would be confusing. So this is just another visual inside of that 60-minute window that I'm choosing to do nothing but outbound touches. I want to track how many did I get done that day. And here's the big picture. Here's the big picture. When you go back and look at this 2 weeks later or 30 days later, because I do teach, like I shared with you, you track and you put them inside this file folder, right? This is planting seeds, sowing seeds, and not being attached to the outcome. And then I put it away and I'm done for the day. 1 hour a day keeps the creditors away, right? And so inside of that hour, maybe that day, I got distracted. Maybe something happened and I didn't get as many touches. Or the next month, my sales are down. I want to go back and better understand where did my numbers go wrong? What happened? So I can do a quick glance here instead of up here and know, well, that week I didn't have very many touches. So that's why my sales may be down, or that's why my appointment calendar is not as full. Or, did I get a lot of no responses things like that. So don't overthink it. You got to use it. And then as you're using it, it'll make more sense, but keep coming back to class on the first and third Wednesdays of the month and ask your questions. So again, I'm just going to reiterate. Up here, I write the names. Down here, I track the results. Now I can put, you can either use the back or there's a notes section on page 2. You can, put like little notes on next to their name if you want. But this is just about getting to my financial goal, getting to my daily numbers that I have up here, because there's a lot of different reasons I can outreach to people, but they all still total towards my data for the day. And I can see how it can be confusing. And that's why I'm always open to feedback. If you find another way that works really, really well for you, please let me know. Please let me know. I'm always open to changing the document, but I will tell you a story. I'll close with a story. I first used this type of document when I was in real estate 20 years ago. Almost 22 years ago now that I think about it. Because I started right out at the gate in college. I was 21 when I got into real estate. And my coach at that time is the one who introduced me to the idea of a prospecting tracking sheet. And it looked a lot like this. So like I said, don't need to reinvent the wheel. Everyone's brain is different though, and I honor that. This one has worked for me now for 20 years, and I've changed it to not be real estate focused. But other than that, it's almost the same document that I used in real estate, where I didn't work nights and weekends. I started out part-time and I made 6 figures in my first year. So this stuff has worked for me in real estate, in direct sales, network marketing, and in health and fitness. And in fact, the only time I didn't get to 5 figures a month was when I didn't use this document. So keep coming back. I appreciate you guys. I always welcome your feedback, and I look forward to seeing you. If there's no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast. We will be changing access starting next week. So look for an email and look for a note inside of the Facebook Messenger. And I'll probably have my virtual assistant reach out to all of you as well to make sure that you guys are signed up for that first kickoff on September 1st. All right, guys, here's to your best health, your best wealth, your best wisdom in learning and applying the tools every day. And we'll see you at the top. And you're achieving your time and financial freedom goals this year. I'm looking forward to serving you in the new and improved VIP membership. We'll see you Wednesday, September 1st. Bye-bye for now.